guys by now. James Cribbs, N0WRL. I'm with Ham Radio Prep and World Radio League, and I'm actually one of the folks that's up full time in ham radio now. So I left the corporate world 2 years ago, just been working on Ham Radio Prep and World Radio League stuff full time ever since. So trying to keep the dream alive here, but don't have a ton of stuff prepared in true anti-forum, as Steve would say. I'm just going to kind of show you guys some cool stuff that we're doing. And I think it's a cool time for kind of the software world in ham radio. Like, you know, the first logbook that I ever used when I first started was N1MM. And I remember like going through the first setup and everything. And I was like, okay, this is like confusing as crap for me, right? And I'm not talking bad about N1MM. N1MM is awesome and it does a lot of things that World Radio League doesn't. But as like when this is 6 years ago for me now, when I was first getting into the software and I looked at it with like fresh eyes coming from a million other softwares, I was like, this is just not what I'm used to, you know? And then I think Hammers came along, and Hammers was kind of like the first of the what I would call like the modern ones, right? They had a nice UI. They really handled PODA, where it was like if you were trying to do N1MM for PODA, it was just more clumsy. It didn't really have like the full support, and if you were like exporting an ADIF, you had to edit your ADIF, and it was hard to do park to parks and like all this stuff. So I started with Ham Radio Prep, and then we launched our first version of World Radio League in 2023, like in the summer of 2023. At that point, we were all web-based, right? So basically, we're like, okay, let's just make the simplest web-based logger that we can, so somebody doesn't have to download anything, and they just go to a website, and it was almost kind of like what you're doing, Mike, where you're just like, literally just like, we just want an interface where somebody can put in a call sign, they can log it, and then they have like a record of it. And that was like the very first like World Radio League in 2023. And then basically since 2023, all we've been doing is just trying to add new features every single week, try to listen to what people want, try to kind of have some fun and like do some interesting things along the way that maybe other people haven't tried, and kind of have like a modern take on what we can do with ham radio, with contesting, with logging, with analytics and all of that. And so I'll show you some of the basic stuff that we're doing. I'll show you some stuff that is kind of on the innovative side that we're doing that you're not going to see in any of the other apps, and then maybe walk you through some of the things that you can do with the app. So first of all, it's available so it's called World Radio League. You can download it on iOS, Android, or you can just go to worldradioleague.com. You can log into the web app version of it. And I would say like most of the web app is more fully featured. Like the mobile app is a more like stripped down. But like how many of you guys do PODA? I know Mike and Becky do PODA, Jason, you do PODA, Jason, you do PODA. Pretty much everybody. Jim? No? Okay, we'll get you. So I think the title of this is like PODA logging, but it's also, I mean, especially on the web app, people use it for anything. You can use it for a contest log, or you can just use it for like, hey, this is my home fun logbook, or whatever it is that you're using. But kind of, if I'll give you guys a quick hook and a good reason to just download the app, something that we do that is kind of fun and interesting is when you download the app, it comes with a widget on your home screen, so you get to have like a little band conditions. I know you've seen this before, but you get like your band conditions right on your home screen of your phone. So like right away, it's a nice like entry point into the app. So you can see this just comes from I'm forgetting the website, but there's a guy who just has solar conditions. He has your basic thing that you would see on QRZ, right? It has 12 to 10, good during the day, poor at night, 17 to 15, 30 to 20. It gives you all your HF bands, conditions, stuff like that. And then once you're in the app, the first screen that you're going to get is your the first screen that you're going to get is your basic like logbook interface. And then you've got like your call sign lookup at the top. So, Mike, what's your call? N4. That's really easy to remember.
This app is legit. I've used all the coda apps before. This one is legit my favorite. I'm not just saying that because it's standard. It does more than Polo is excellent too. Polo's a great app, but this one does a little bit more. Polo says they're implementing cloud backup, and he will at some point, but they've been doing it for months. So
yeah,
you go home and open your web browser, it's right. It's all right.
Yeah, like whereas like and I agree, Ham2K is a good app. Hammers is a good app too, and Ham2K started on the mobile app side, and then they're going to the cloud, where we're kind of the opposite. We started on the cloud, and then we implemented the mobile. So anything that you log on your mobile app, as soon as you get an internet connection, it'll sync up to your online logbook. So it has the mobile app to web sync. So you've got your band conditions at the top. You've got your call sign lookup. So anyone who has an account in here, as well as like we do have a call sign database for people that don't have accounts too. So you can generally look up most call signs as long as it's something that somebody else in the app has logged. We'll store it into our database so you can look up the call signs. And then I know you guys can't really see my phone so well, but I'll try to walk around and show you guys some of the different stuff that you can do. So when you're doing if I start with like the PODA, when you do the PODA, if you go to the bottom where you have your activities on here, you actually have a map of all the different sites that are near you. So we've got PODA, WWFF, SODA, IOTA. And so without having to pull up another app, you have all your PODA sites that are in there. And so like, it looks like we're actually at a PODA. Okay, Montesano's a PODA. So if you select your park, there's a SODA here too.
Yeah.
So if you select the park, so if I select like the SODA, Montesano Mountain SODA, or I select the PODA from the app here, as long as I find the right tree icon, it'll actually let you just with one click create a logbook, and it'll put the park number into the ADIF file, knows that you're in the park. So you click create logbook, and then you're in and you're activating that park. So from the click on the map, and then you click into their logbook, and then you're off and logging. And then from there, it's just like a basic, any kind of logging interface that you'd be used to. You're just going to generate your map. You're going to have your spots in there. You can auto spot from here into PODA, so that's really useful. So like when you're logging, instead of having to open up the PODA app and put your spot in, if you look in there, you'll see an option that says PODA auto spot. You click that, it'll put frequency, band, any comments you want to drop, and you click, and it'll just send that over to the PODA network, and you'll see your spot show up on PODA or in the spotting on the next side. So it just keeps, one of the things that keeps you from hopping around.
I love the auto spotting. That's awesome. Does it auto spot to SODA and IOTA too?
We don't have I'm actually checking that right now. We had built it on web, but I don't think we have the SODA auto spot on mobile yet.
I think there's a pre-planned spot on IOTA, but I know SODA, you can do real-time spotting.
I think we did finish SODA on the web, but we got to add it on the app. That's a.
Does the auto spotting handle changing the frequencies?
You can just send the spot again. Yeah, and I believe PODA just handles that automatically too, since it comes in through the same call. It should prevent you from double spotting. And then something I use, some of you guys might be better than I am about like remembering your like band plan, but especially like since I'm an extra and I'm like, maybe I'm trying to stay out of like the extra segment and kind of get more into the general so I don't go too far towards the bottom of the band. You've got your band plan built into the app too. So like if you click the band plan at the top, it'll bring you up, your band plan. So another just like handy tool reference that's built into the app. And then like a couple cool kind of things that we're playing around with that I don't think I've seen anybody else do. On all of our profile pages, we built like this activity map. I actually got the idea from GitHub. So like if you, I don't know if any of you guys use GitHub at all, and any developers in here. But like, you know, you go on like GitHub and you have like that activity so you can kind of see like what people are like coding on. We're like, yeah, let's just do that for like ham radio. So when you go on people's like profile pages, you get like this activity map and you can
Just like it.
it's literally, I mean, it's literally the same thing. They have a library for doing this. So when you go and check out people's profiles, and we've got some people in the app that are like using this thing like every day. So you can go, you go in there on some people's profiles, and it's just stacked out. You're like, okay, that guy's a serious POTA guy. So when you're looking at people's profiles, you can kind of check them out and see like, okay, what type of operator is this? Is this a CW guy? Is this an SSB guy? Is this somebody who's active all the time? Are they just more like a type of casual operator? And you'll get there. Yeah, go ahead.
Where does it pull the activity from?
It's just the POTA. Do you mean the activity map where it pulls the?
Like, is it only the people's logs that have logged in with World Radio League, or is it all their logs they've submitted to POTA?
From the coda app, the activity?
For all the POTA parks? Yeah, POTA has like just a CSV.
The GitHub like activity.
Oh, that's just all their contacts that are in WRL.
Gamification, the leaderboards, that stuff yet?
No, I haven't talked about that. But Bill, you know this stuff. Bill, you're actually one of the early adopters because you joined like more than a year ago, I think.
30 something.
Yeah.
Founding member, baby.
Yeah, let's go.
So one of the things, now Becky's gonna ruin this when she starts because she does a lot more CW. One of the things though is not a lot of CW users using that.
Right, yeah.
When I'm doing CW, I get on there and I look at the leaderboard and I'm like, not on there. Oh, gotta do some more. Now, I'm 8. Gotta do some more. You know, now I'm number 1. I'm done for today. But anyway, it's got a leaderboard. And like I'm always number 1 in North Carolina. So,
Heck yeah. Well, and that's the kind of fun thing because like
it just, you know, Homo sapiens. I just want to see my name in lights or something. At least there, right? Because I'll never see it anywhere else. But I keep hearing this disconnect, and I don't know or understand contesters, and I don't know or understand how to run your business. But I know, I hear people talk about the gamification, you know, the live play-by-play, you know, like, you know, whether you, it's like golf, walking up the tee, getting out his straight tee, or, you know, oh, he just moved ahead, however you want to think about it.
Yeah.
This live action that, you know, the end of the day, who won.
So
Contesters talking about it, and I see it happening with you guys. When are you gonna get?
I mean, Bill, you're spot on because like so, WRTC the World Radio Team Championship is next year in London, right? So it's every 4 years. The last one was in Italy, and so we've been working with the WRTC guys since like November on integrating World Radio League specifically for World Radio Team Championship, like in tandem on like working on the live contesting platform. So like back in like November, December, they were trying to figure out how are we going to do our live experience. They knew that it needed to be custom. They knew they needed to go to platform. And we were basically came and said, look, we can make this work for you. So they just had the IARU HF Championship about a month ago. And we did a full test on our platform. So we have live scoreboards for all the contests as well. But what we had to do for WRTC was we had to write a custom software that went onto a Raspberry Pi. So in addition to writing a mobile app, in addition to writing a web app, we also write a custom Raspberry Pi software, which was super fun. It took like, you know, we were in the weeds for like a month and a half working on this. And but anyway, long story short, we got it working so that the station for the contesters can be fully offline because they don't want these guys spotting. They don't. Well, that's they are going to have actually kind of a regulated spotting, but they don't want them looking at spots during the competition. So we take all their QSOs from offline, stream them through a Pi to the cloud, display them on a leaderboard, and this is what we just tested for IARU-HF. But getting back to what you're saying, Bill, with what we're trying to build to with WRTC and then contesting and beyond is like, you can have somebody looking at the scoreboard plus the analytics, and you can be doing like a commentary like, hey, this guy just found an opening on 40 meters, or like, hey, this guy's just running on 20 and he's just crushing it. Look at his QSO rate. And you can kind of give more of like a play-by-play. And so the WRTC 2026 is kind of like our big trying to kind of coming out party in a way, where it's like we're trying to show a new type of live experience for ham radio and a new interface, and like more content, more media around it, and like try to get some more hype. But we also want to just be like, you know, hey, I want to be able to like, you know, like Call of Duty style. I don't know, Call of Duty fans here, but Call of Duty style. I want to just like hop in a lobby with my friends, and we're just gonna run a sprint for 4 hours, right? Or like we're just gonna see, you know, who can make the most CW contacts over a week. So with the integrated cloud logging, it opens up a lot of that, and like our first foray into that is like what Bill's talking about, which is what we have today, where you have leaderboards. But what makes the leaderboards nice is they're always running, and you can kind of filter down into your state, and you can see like, hey, in Georgia, who's really after it this week? Who's doing a lot of CW in Alabama? Like if I look into, let's just like click into like Alabama and see who's like, you'd be like surprised how many World Radio League users there might be, you know, in your area or in your state that are, you know, using it that you might not even know. So I don't know. There's only one guy doing CW in Alabama this week, is some guy named Calvin. Let's see. Well, he put his call sign in here. Wait, okay, I see you on the leaderboard because you just logged a contact in the app. So it's already streamed up to the cloud, right? So like when you That's called stolen valor, you know? Like you just like log in number one CW operator. So, but like what's really cool is like you'll see some, like if you come by our booth, like some of the guys that are like in our booth too are like some super power users. So like I love to go into like the people like Mike here. He's like a big POTA guy. So you can also write personal notes about users in there while you're logging or like in the app. So like if someone tells you something interesting about them, you can like write the note in there and it'll save it, but it's only visible to you. But I always like love the GitHub style map, like when somebody's just absolutely like, I mean, this guy's like doing like a POTA every day. I don't know how he does it. I wish I had that type of capabilities, but yeah, so
when you're looking at it for a state leaderboard, if you go someplace, you change your location to be in that area so that you're showing, hey, I'm in Alabama now, so let me
yep.
my stats against Alabama, or do I keep against Florida? That's where I'm at.
So it's based on your operating location, not your home location. So you can store multiple locations. You can store saved location. So whenever you're like creating a logbook, it basically asks you, it's like, where are you? And it'll default to your home. But if you're not in your home, you just update your location to wherever you are, and it'll count your leaderboard based on the location of where you're operating from. So if you're in Alabama right now and you got a bunch of contacts while you're in Alabama, you would go up on the Alabama leaderboard. The reason that we're doing this is kind of in the weeds, but like we're in the middle of a database upgrade right now, and basically going from like a NoSQL database to a SQL database. And basically the reason is because as the app started to grow and we got up to like 30,000 contacts, our cloud bill got up to $2,000 a month, because asking a NoSQL database to do analytics, as one of my friends says, is like asking a fish to climb a tree. It's just really hard on the database. And so once we get the database shifted over to SQL, then all the analytics are much faster and the database is a lot more responsive and our cost goes down. That's one of the hardest things about doing the app, honestly. I mean, like I said, I got out of the corporate world and just started doing full-time ham radio stuff, but it's trying to balance the costs and keep the project alive and and make sure that you're, keeping your head above water. If you're doing anything cloud related and the volume starts to pick up, and I know for those of you guys who have done like some of the app stuff, pick your platform wisely at the beginning, because then if it does start to scale, you save yourself a lot of headache later. Like Supabase is really good, or any type of, that's what you're using? Yeah, that's really good. Because I mean, you can scale up the single compute, whereas like a lot of you scale more like vertically, and you can just scale up the machine, and so you just get basically a bigger machine and it runs better, rather than trying to like scale horizontally with like the serverless architecture, and that's a whole nother topic. But you'll be happy with Supabase for sure.
Another thing is your profile stores your equipment as well. So if I'm in my logbook and I happen to be using my QMX, I can hit the drop down QMX antennas and store other antennas, right?
Yep.
And so what antenna I'm using, so that specific QSO or list of QSOs that day are equipment specific.
And it's good that you're doing that, because like today you don't really have many analytics, but since you have your contacts tagged with the radio, as we start to add more analytics, then we can start giving you the radio analytics of like, this is the contacts you've done with this radio or this radio. Or if you're like looking at a graph of your QSOs, the plan is to then add that as a filter. So when you're in your logbook, you'll notice like a setting for radio and antenna, and it doesn't really do much yet, except it just adds that data to the QSO. So for later, each QSO now has a record of what radio you were using, what antenna you were using. And so when the radio and antenna analytics page comes out, yours will already be populated.
So one day you'll send me an alert that says, this is the only radio you ever use.
Yeah, sell the rest. Yeah. Yeah, and then it gets even interesting when you start to think about the cloud, because then you could start to like aggregate that across, and you could be like, what's the most popular radio? Like what are people using most for CW? What are people using most for single sideband? And
so one day I'm sitting there and I'm logging, because it's so easy. It's on my computer. I have two screens, radio's over here, keyboard, and I get this pop-up. Hey man, what are you doing? Or you got a message. Hey man, what are you doing? It's Jason. It took forever for me to find how to get. So have you guys moved that up front somewhere?
The community part, the messaging. It's just in the sidebar still. We haven't moved it up. I can't prevent Jason from sending you messages, unfortunately. But he's got he's got VIP access, man. This guy can send in a message to anybody he wants.
No, that was cool. It wasn't up front enough for me to easily use it.
Right.
Going way away from what I was doing. So that was the question. I'm glad I got the message. I put that on your list. I know you got to tally this somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. It would be nice.
I don't know if it's not easy for me to find, but it's there. It's a community. You can message other people. Does it show you? It must show you're online, because obviously he knew I was online.
Maybe. I don't think so.
No, it showed.
I don't.
It gave a list of members. This was back then. There's a lot more members on it now than there was back then. And this was, I was just looking at the list of members, and I saw your profile. I was like, oh, Bill's on here.
So put that on your list too. We need a friends list.
A friends list, yeah. Friends, followers, that's definitely coming. Desktop app, definitely coming. A lot more analytics, definitely coming. And yeah, I mean, like we have cat control too. So if you're on the web, you can download the separate cat control app. And now, Bill, since it works with Flex, you can use it too. I mean, like our mobile app is, we're like 50-50 between people that are using the mobile app or doing like a POTA in the field versus people that are using the app at home. And the good thing is like versus like a downloadable app with it web-based, I could log into the web portal and then I could be on a separate device and I could be at a friend's house and I could log into my account and all my contacts are already there rather than like having to, transport files or something like that. I'm trying to think of like anything else. Oh yeah, integrations. We just launched where we really want to make it very like extensible, so it kind of works with whatever you're working, like even other loggers. So like if you're like a hardcore N1MM guy, but you want to like join in on the contest part of it, you can stream your contacts from another logbook in here. It also integrates with QRZ and LOTW. So you can log your contacts with WRL and then automatically they go into QRZ. And you also have bidirectional, so all your QRZ contacts automatically come into WRL too. LOTW, we have the import. We're still working on the export part of it. It's a little bit tricky, but you can import all your contacts from LOTW. We've got WS JTX, so if you're doing FT8, you can log all your FT8 contacts into WRL.
Is it two-way with QRZ?
Two-way with QRZ, yep.
With any chance that it'll upload your coda log?
No, but it's a limitation on the POTA side. Like we don't have any type of an endpoint or anything that we can. They don't have any like a SFTP file exchange or anything. Like they just want you to use their site. So you have to get home. Yeah. The good thing though is like if you do log on your phone, and then you come home, since your log will already be on your web account, you can export it from there and then upload into POTA. And so just when you're exporting from WRL, just make sure you select the option for export and then it'll say park number ADIF because it'll format it specifically for POTA with the header and the park information.
I don't.
Do you have a from-demand QSL card integration?
We don't have that yet, but I heard somebody has one. That would be really cool.
It has the ability to import and export, at least from like WSJTX, you can sync that up. But I don't know what that means for World Radio. Do anything with that?
Yeah. So you can import, export all your ADIFs, and within 3FJP. Yeah, import, export ADIFs. With WSJTX, we do have a live connection too. So you can log FT8 and in real time, it sends it to your local port, streams it to the cloud, and your contacts are coming in real time from FT8 or from WSJTX up to WRL.
But it's not real time. You have to go through ADIF.
No, it's real time.
No,
It's
for N3FJP.
also real time. We can do N3FJP real time as well.
Okay, so real time. So I log something in WRL and I'm telling it to log to the port that the software requires, and it just goes.
Well, we do it the other way. So with N3FJP, you configure N3FJP to your local UDP port, whatever it is. And we have an app, like you download a little agent that goes on your computer, and then it'll guide you through the configuration basically. So it'll real-time stream N3FJP contacts up to WRL, not the other way around. We don't have that.
My club uses N3FJP, and I'm trying to get them to change to something else. They would go.
They go nuts.
Well,
Well,
we paid for a license for the club. We actually paid. It's amazing for that bunch of cheapskates.
well, see, so this is the thing that's been great for clubs. So we have a bunch of clubs that use us for field day. And the main reason that the clubs use WRL for field day is because they can all log into the same account and they can do a single club logbook, and it counts the dupes across the club. So if you're logging as a club call sign, you can see the full logbook with all your operators for field day without any like of the networking setup that you would have to do for N3FJP. But it requires an internet connection. Right. Yeah, but we still have a ton of clubs who are like, we just like that we've got an internet connection, and so we just pop open our loggers and just log with that.
One of the places that we go is junior ROTC facility.
Nice.
But they shut down the guest Wi-Fi over the weekend.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. So, I mean, and that's the thing is like we try to balance like the offline features with the online stuff. Like a lot of the online stuff is fun, but you also want to be fully offline capable. So like our mobile app we build with offline capability. We're working on the offline database and stuff too. But if you are online, you can unlock a lot of fun stuff like scoreboards and leaderboards and stuff like that. So we try to kind of balance between the online and offline side of things.
Curious about the statistics that you might have as a coda activator. If you had all of your coda activations on WRL, what analytics would you have today?
You'd have like state, contacts by state. You'd have, band mode breakdowns. You have like a QSO manager, so you can go in and filter it yourself. Like, show me all my contacts in this logbook, on this band, in this state. You can kind of create your own custom filters, DX tracking. I'd say like you basically have kind of like a standard set of basic analytics. Nothing POTUS specific today, but we do like, that's kind of part of the database upgrade plan is like once we get more of the database upgraded to start just adding more of those different analytics dashboards.
Cool. When you get to that point, I'd be happy to share my thoughts on what I wish I had as an activator.
What do you wish you had? I'm curious.
Things like hunter leaderboards, like scoped by us, like who are our top hunters, how many times have they gotten us, what parts we've gotten, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's the way we're going. So I might shoot you some stuff as we start to get closer and kind of get your thoughts on it. And I've heard some of our users say that like WRL, especially the web side, they really love for hunting. Like you'd be amazed how many POTA hunters are at home using the World Radio League because it has like, an interface where you can just click the spots, it copies them over to your log, and then what's really sweet is when you've got the cat control hooked up, right? So you've got cat control, you've got your radio, you've got your logger, and then you've got the spots. And you're just clicking through spots, and your radio is, tuning to each one. So you can hunt really, really fast through it.
It's on the Raspberry Pi hooked up in our truck.
No way. Yeah, give it a shot.
That's actually how I have it. That fake contact.
What,
I was trying to pretend like I was a hunter, and I was trying to see what it would be like from a hunter's perspective.
I'm curious, like, is there anything that you guys would like to have seen in a logger that you haven't seen yet? Or is there anything that you guys were like, I really wish that a logger, had this feature built into it?
Voice input.
What?
Voice input.
Voice input?
Not really, but it's like, sometimes it's like, I can't type fast enough, but I can one-handed, so it's got the microphone. So I'm just like, and also for CW, do the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
for me to like, do right-handed, left-handed, I got to write with my right hand, so do I key left-handed or, something like that. But if all I need to do is like speak the,
Speak it, or a PTT kind of like on your keyboard. Yeah.
And this is going off of the weeds
That's a good idea.
Only for people who are not anti-AI. I've written some AI voice agent kind of things. That'd be perfect for that because they'd understand. Okay, here's the information I need to log, and then just listening for until you give it enough information to log it. And you'd be like, I got a contact on whatever purpose. Okay, and then it would ask you what other information. As soon as you give it enough, it log it.
I have seen some of those things with some of the. I've seen videos of some of the AI agents out there logging in the wild. I've never like come across it myself or anything, but it's pretty. It's pretty nuts. That's nuts. I I don't know how to feel about the like the fully automated AI stuff. It's like it is cool, but like you take it to the end, like you know, if you get too many of those stations, does it become yeah, does it become like too nutty? Like is it, you know, I don't know.
When you got teaching class, and you see all the students get replaced by recorders recording the professor, and you see the professor's recorder putting the lecture in.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like AI is great, but like ultimately, you know, it's in service of people at the end of the day. Like, you know, it's like, what's the, you know, we're not just gonna lay in bed. You know, we want to do something. So
Yeah, I think I've got you in my logbook. My AI got you last week.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. It will just like I guess we'll kind of see how it goes. But like, you know, you almost need to like if someone is using an AI, you almost need to like tag those contacts at least so you could treat them differently or something, you know. And I think that gets into sort of like even in like contesting, like how do you like adjudicate a contest well, right? Like how do you know that somebody's not just you know cheating a little bit? You know?
Isn't it the same thing as FDIA? No, it is not.
It's not. You shut up. But I was the first time I'd ever seen that, and I thought that's kind of
Well, I think that's my session. So Steve, I told you I was going to keep it informal. Steve said it was an anti-forum, so I didn't come with a lot of stuff prepared. But if you guys sign up, we send a weekly update, so you'll kind of see there's something new that we're adding in pretty much every single week. You know, I spend most of my days just like in the weeds working on the thing. So we're trying to stay updated, and we listen to what people want to see a lot. We try to add some cool stuff in that maybe people haven't thought of along the way, but like, you know, we listen to feedback and try to incorporate as much as we can. So download the app, sign up on the website, and let me know what you guys think.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. And congratulations on the, you know, being number 1 on the CW leaderboard.
I gotta add some more fake contacts real quick. Yeah, so I was trying to play with the hunter experience. It was like, I'm definitely gonna have to try out the cat control.
Yeah, and you can do the copy to log thing on the this logger too. So like if you're in your spotting page, so like if I'm in my spotting page and I want to log this person, I can just click it and then click copy spot to log, and then it goes back to the logging page, but now it's filled out with their info.
That's what I did to add that guy.
That's how you did it? Yeah.
Hit cat control, so, and then you picked up your phone.
Right.
There's the cat control's not on the app. It's just on the website only. Yeah.
Oh, is it use
Yeah.
web
No, we don't have it on the
on the web?
Oh, on the web? No. Well, so what we do on the web is we have it doesn't use web serial. We have a local agent. So you download a local agent and then we connect through that. Yeah, web serial is really cool though.
Yeah, mine uses